On Sunday, William did the Harry Potter studio tour. We had last done this when he was 4, which I recall was an extremely active, energetic visit for him. Now that William is nearly twice as old, I wondered if things would be the same. They certainly seemed to begin that way. William was very excited to arrive and see the big dragon in the entry area. To others, it probably looked like he was a wildly excited Harry Potter fan. In fact, today was more of a treat for his mummy. William's never shown that much interest in Harry Potter, although we hoped the visit could be an interesting sensory experience for him. After the initial excitement, we had to do some queuing. William decided he was hungry at this point, which worked out quite well, although he was wanting to eat so frantically that we didn't really get to absorb anything around us. Following this were 2 cinema-type experiences. Although these only lasted for about 15 minutes in total, William was feeling much too energetic to be still for them, so was climbing all over me. He finally found his seat as the second of these shows ended. Then, thankfully, the tour opened up into its main part, where we could explore freely. This began with some very engaging sensory experiences in the Great Hall, which William clearly enjoyed. Then we moved on to look at some school-based sets from the films. This was probably the least interesting part for William, as there weren't so many sensory experiences, but he was okay being carried around to observe. Coming out of these sets, we entered a much more sensory world, the so-called Forbidden Forest. William still mostly wanted to be carried here, and I'm not really sure what he made of this strange, dark environment. He was certainly happy being here at least. Next, we had some brief time at the famous train station, although the queues to get on the train were a bit big. We then had a bit of waiting for lunch, which William coped really well with, even though we'd have to stand around until the table was free, and then sit there until his mummy had collected our food. Next, we had some very fleeting time in Harry Potter's house and a greenhouse, which I'm also told is an important part of the story. William took these in his own way. Soon later, we got to what was definitely one of William's highlights of the tour. At the end of the bank set, there was a big destroyed vault where we saw the dragon again, this time breathing fire and smoke. William was very excited watching this twice, although on the third time round, he seemed to have got over it, maybe as he realised the dragon wasn't going to get us. There were other famous sights to see on the tour, which William took in, as always, in his own way. William's energy today certainly exceeded that of his 4-year-old self on our last visit, but he also showed more understanding about waiting and staying on his harness, and I think altogether he had a really interesting time.
You're very cheeky.